Hello curl friends, so today I'm going to show you how I wash my wigs. This is our 16-inch U-part wig in the texture 3B 3C, and I'm just going to wash it. I honestly had it stored and I want to rock it, so I'm going to go ahead and wash it and show you that process. So I always wash the wigs with this shampoo, and then I use this hair treatment to follow up with it as a conditioner. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this process of how to wash it. You want to be gentle with any type of curly hair because the hair is fragile and it attempts to mimic our hair. And so when you're washing your hair, you always want to be gentle with it. So for this process, I typically don't use any type of styling tools. I kind of just use my hands to kind of work through it and just make sure that you're very gentle so that you're not pulling on the hair and you're not causing any shedding or any matting. So you just want to kind of wash the hair. You want to make sure the best way to manipulate this hair or to do anything when styling it is to make sure that the hair is completely wet. And so I always use the sprayer on my sink to make sure the hair is drenched and wet, because I don't want to start attempting to work my fingers through or do any type of styling like that, because I don't want it to get, any tangle. So you want to be just as gentle as possible with the wigs, because it's fragile. You want to use warm water when you're washing the hair, so you don't want to really use hot water. Warm, or if you can stand it, cold water is always what's best with it. But you want to make sure the hair is just drenched. So as you can see, I just kind of drench the hair, making sure that it is completely wet before I'm applying any type of shampoo or anything. And like I said, this is going to help your products or anything that you put into the hair. It's going to help for it to glide, for you to be able to glide your hands through it. And so if you have a thicker density, or if you have any density really, you want to just work your hands, hold it, and make sure that it's getting through all the hair and just not that top layer. Once you're done with that, you don't want to try to do any detangling or really running your fingers through the hair. You want to simply just rub it down. So you're going to just always do a downward motion when you're working with the wig in the wiping stage. And so you want to take that shampoo, and I always take not too much, and I just kind of work it into the wig. As you can see, I put it on there. And I'm just going to take my hands and kind of let that thud into the hair. Let me turn the board off so you guys can hear me. But I'm just going to let that kind of thud. It's kind of awkward because I'm not left-handed, but I'll flip it around. But you want to kind of just make sure that you're washing in a downward motion. So you want to start from the top and kind of go down. And just get that shampoo into all parts of the hair. Like I said, you don't want to really try to work on detangling or doing any of that for right now, because you don't want it to, you're washing the hair right now, you're not doing any detangling, so you don't want to contribute to any shedding. And so you want to make sure that you are just kind of doing that upward downward motion to wash the hair. You want to make sure you get in good with the back of the wig, so you want to do downward motions as well for that piece as well. I've had this wig now for probably a little over 6 months. Yeah, I wear it pretty often because I am pregnant, so my wigs have literally been a lifesaver, in just anything, because it's like, listen, this is like the perfect wig. It helps a lot. And so as you notice, this definitely cuts down on shedding. For this particular wig, I have not sealed any wefts or anything like that. So it's just really me just being as careful as possible. So I have that washed, basically. I only run it through it one time. You don't want to put too much of shampoo on the hair, just because sometimes shampoos contain sulfate, and you don't want to put too much of sulfate in the hair because it will dry it out. And then if you rinse it, you're just going to rinse it, basically rinse that out. Really simple. We're going to rinse all of that out. I do it from this perspective because it's kind of awkward because I'm not. My dominant hand, not left hand, so then you want to just wring like the excess water out like that, right? So that's a little bit of, that's probably all the shedding that I've gotten so far in the wash process. You want to make sure all the shampoo is out of the wig. Then you just want to wring it down to take any of the excess water out. I'm going to rinse it one more time just to make sure all the shampoo is out of it. That seems to be good. And then we're just going to wring it one last time. And you don't want to wring it too much because you don't want to take too much of the water out. That is what it looks like after it's been washed. So I'm going to sit it on the counter. And then I'm going to take, like I said, my hair treatment. And for this step, it's like the same thing. You want to just be gentle. You want to, whatever areas you're using, that's why you don't want to wring too much of the water out. For whatever areas that you're using, you kind of want to rub your hands up and down, but you don't want to detangle without having some type of conditioner on the hair first. So I'm going to work this conditioner in. I put way too much, I'm sorry. You just want to work the conditioner in and kind of rub your hands down, right? And the reason this wig is staying more so like really easy to manage and detangle intact is because when I style it, you'll see that process, but I style it really with intentionality, meaning that I style it so that it's not difficult to, it's completely detangled first of all when I'm styling. So even if you want to wear it in an afro or defined curls, you want to make sure whatever that process is when you are styling is making sure that the hair is completely detangled before you apply any type of styling product. And I'm going to show you how much shedding I got from doing it this way. So you want to just kind of make sure the conditioner is applied to the ends. You can work your fingers through it a little bit, but you want to make sure that you have saturated every part of the hair with conditioner before you try to run a comb, any type of styling tool. And then that's the hair conditioner. So I'm just going to put it here and show you the shedding that I got. This is literally, rub it together, the shedding that I have gotten from the wig so far in that process. And so I let this sit on my counter. This is it, basically, with the conditioner on it. I'm gonna let it sit on my counter for probably about 15 to 20 minutes. If you want to, you can put it in like a plastic bag and let it sit in there. Let it sit. So once I let it sit for those 15 to 20 minutes, I will be back to show you how we do the styling process. Alrighty, thank you. So now I have let it sit on the hair and I'm going to just rinse out the conditioner. Of course, I'm going to rinse it out with cold water. Just because cold water helps with curls. So you're going to rinse it out with cold water. And for the conditioner, you don't have to like rinse all of it out. You can still leave a little bit on the hair just to have, to help moisturize it. So you don't have to be too particular about just keeping or rinsing all of the conditioner out. You want to wring it. And you don't want to wring all the water out either. You want it to be like literally damp, like you want it to be wet and dripping. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer that to my wig stand. And then we're going to get to the next part of the video, which is the styling part, which is my favorite part. So I'm back, girlfriends. I have these styling mannequin hair or hair stand. We have these available on our website. We just added these, but these are a great addition to helping to style your hair. So it comes with, of course, the pins. The pins are great because it helps the hair to stay in place when you're attempting to style, so you're not tugging at the wefts, which can cause tension and shedding. So you want to just take these nice little pins that they give you and just pin the wig down to secure it in place, because you're going to start the styling process and also detangle as you go. So I typically just put like 3. I put 1 in the middle, 1 on the side, 3. If you have a headband wig, you can just kind of secure the actual headband on the actual wig stand and then go from there. So I always start from the back when I am detangling the wig. So I'm going to start from the back. So how you want to do it, let me turn this. You can maneuver the head. So I'm going to turn the head to the side so that you guys can see this process. But basically what I do is I always start with the hair in the back, and I kind of section it off. You want to section it off in smaller sections. You don't want to try to do a whole lot of sections at one time, because I've learned that that does result in just like extra work, honestly, at the end, because you're having to re-detangle the hair. It can just kind of get messy. So you always want to start from the back, and then you want to take the hair that you're not currently working with and put a pin or something, put a clamp or something to secure that hair in place so that it's not falling down. I'm probably just going to end up doing a scrunchie or something. So you can take a scrunchie. I wouldn't take a rubber band, honestly. I'm probably going to use a rubber band, but I probably wouldn't take a rubber band just because rubber bands tend to get tangled in hair. So you also want to make sure when you're pulling the hair to the front that your pins are pushed in, because the hair can get snagged on there. You don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna probably use just this section to start off with, and then work my way up with the wig. So there, yeah. And you can also secure the back with pins too, if you like, so that you have that. I'm gonna try to, probably gonna put 1 pin in the back just to secure the wefts here. And you don't have to necessarily put it on the weft. You can just put it on the actual neck just to make the wig kind of sit as you're working with it. Make sure my wig stand is. So when you start from the back of the actual, when you're starting from the back of actually detangling, you want to start, like I said, from the back. This is the back of the hair. Tools that you want to have is you want to definitely have a spray bottle full with water. I know the hair is still like the hair is literally dripping now, but you want to make sure it's drenched with water before you manipulate. I always use wet line gel to define these wigs, and then I always use the Denman brush. Now the Denman brush, I do take every other row out, because when you are detangling with your natural hair, with your wigs, anything that you're detangling, sometimes when you have all the rows in the Denman brush, it creates friction. And you don't want unnecessary friction. So for that purpose, I do go ahead and take every other row out. Okay, so now I did have to switch the camera around a little bit so that we can see this process. So this is the back of the wig. So I'm gonna take, of course, like I said, I have the wet line gel. Try to reach around this way so that not blocking the view. But you want to take your spray bottle and you want to drench the hair, like literally. So natural hair, if you haven't learned, is definitely not low maintenance. It's very high maintenance. So the wigs are supposed to mimic, not sure what's going on in my spray bottle. Is it broken? I've had this spray bottle for so long. Okay, it's not broken. It's supposed to mimic our hair. So our hair does take some time to do. So you want to just take this, and like I have my Denman brush. I'm literally just combing through the hair, and it's making it easy to comb through the hair because it's water on it and it's been conditioned, right? And so what I'm doing is I'm just going to comb through the hair, and I'm being very gentle. I'm holding it, I'm combing through it, right? So I'm going to comb through that. I'm going to work in sections. It's already clumping the curls. So in order for me to hold the curls or just to make them hold longer, I'm gonna take some gel. Not gonna take a lot. You don't wanna take too much gel, but you wanna put enough on, as you can see, that's going to actually define the curls. And you wanna rub it from the root to the bottom. Once you put that gel on there, don't just comb it just yet. Take your spray bottle again, spray that down with a little water just to get the gel mixed in with the water so that it can really run up and down the hair shaft. And then you want to take your Denman brush and you just want to rub it through there and define the curls. Don't worry if you see a little bit of a white, like the little white residue. It'll go away once you dry it. But those are defined curls. Okay, so that is defined. Now we're gonna work our way up to the next section. So we'll just take, and I'm probably doing about 3 wefts at a time, maybe 2. So not a lot of wefts at a time, but it doesn't take that long. Put this part up. Whew. Stand or something. Okay. So you don't want to mess with the hair that you just did. So actually, yeah. So I'll just section this portion out, and then we're gonna spray. This portion down with the water. I'm gonna work it in. Take our brush. Like I said, if you want more of a secure spot or secure, you want to just take the pins and put them, you can put like a pin there to secure it, but just make sure you remember where you put them, because when it's time, or just take them out when you get done with that section, because when it's time to take the wig off, you'll forget and then have to pull them. So we're gonna work our gel into this section because we haven't put any gel on it. Not using too much gel, like I said, it's just probably that much. Then of course you want to take your spray bottle, like I said, to seal that gel in. Then you're just gonna clump the curls. You can do this technique where you're pulling them down, or you can use this technique. Both of them define the curls. It just kind of depends on how you want them to look. I typically always do that. I'm just gonna clump them. Put some gel on this section. So we have curls. So curl friends, I am all done. As you can see, I've defined the wig. It took me probably about 25 minutes, not a lot. Once you get done, you can go in, and if you see that some of the curls are not as defined as you want, you can, of course, like I said, always go in with that spray bottle, because that spray bottle is just going to help to set the curls with the water. And you can take your Denman brush and just kind of define out those places that you feel like the curls didn't give you that ultimate clumping action that you wanted. But other than that, that is it. And then what I'll do now is I'm going to actually allow this wig to sit under the dryer to dry. I want my curls to set. You don't want to touch them, or you don't want to try to wear the wig right then. So I recommend, if you know that you're going to wear your wig, you want to kind of plan before so that you can make sure you're able to actually get all the steps in, from washing to detangling to styling. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually just take the whole wig stand, take my dryer, sit it on top of it, allow it to dry until it's dry. My dryer typically dries it by probably about 30 to 45 minutes. I put it on low heat because I don't want it to just be too hot. And so what I'll do is I'll, like I said, allow it to sit under the dryer so that it can completely dry, and then I'm ready to rock it. If you want to tease it, I will of course wait to tease any of the curls or do anything like that until the hair is actually completely dry, because that's going to give you volume. It's going to make sure that the curls, you can just pull them apart easily, and that the curls are completely set. So like I said, this is the process of how the wigs should be styled, or how you can style your wig and get max definition, little to no shedding, and just overall longevity of the actual style. You probably could rock this wig, taking it off, putting it back on your wig stem every night. You probably can do it for like a week or longer. It just depends on how full you want it, and just how stickler you are, I guess, about defining your curls. So this is the final product. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy your wigs. Bye. So this is the hair the next day. I have defined it basically. This is what it looks like. It's completely dry. I actually let it air dry just because I was being a little lazy and didn't put it on the dryer. But either way, if you are limited to time, of course, you can allow it to sit on the dryer. If you have some time, you can allow it to dry overnight. It will definitely dry overnight. But this is the final, like the final product, or the final curls. If you want to, you can go in and like pull the curls apart. I typically wait till I put the wig on just to fluff and kind of separate curls, just so I can see exactly what I'm doing. But this is like the curls. These are the curls that you are going to get when you follow those steps. They're shiny. The wig is shiny. It's not dull. It's really just beautiful. It's perfect. This is the 3B 3C texture. This is a 16-inch. This is a U part. This is the middle part, but of course I kind of manipulated to wear right and left. So it's kind of, to me, it's a all part. But this is the texture. This is how it's going to look. It's soft, as you can see. It's not crunchy. Very soft. And as the days progress, I typically don't fluff on the first day just because I want the wig to last longer. And so I probably will just fluff this out, honestly, as the days progress, as I wear it. And of course at night I put it on my wig stand. But if you would just allow it to kind of you know, allow it some time, wear it the first day, don't fluff it too much, and then just as you go fluff it, it'll be perfect. But this is the final product. This is what the wig is going to look like at the end. This is how you achieve those amazing curls. Look at that. That's just beautiful. It's like literally so gorgeous, so beautiful. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.